All right, welcome. If you are watching, why am I echoing? If you're watching the replay, please like the page. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We need subscribers, please. Right? Subscribe to the channel. If you're on LinkedIn, make sure to follow me so that as I drop the announcements for these lives, we have them every Thursday at 12 noon, right? You get the notifications immediately. So today is I'm really excited, but before I start to introduce my special guest to you, let me quickly run the intro. All right. So today we are going to be talking to, I won't even say she's a serial career changer like me, but Zino has made a couple of some serious moves, right, in terms of career change. And that's why I invited her. As I advertised, she's changed industries and changed geographical markets, right? Zina and I met when I was doing core. Actually, I'm still doing HR, right? But I mean, much earlier in my HR consulting career. Zino, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm hearing some echo, by the way. Is that normal?
Yeah, I started out with hearing an echo. I don't know, but it sounds fine on this side.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Zino. Like Ladi said, I am a digital marketer. I'm an experienced digital marketer, actually with about 9 years experience, for almost 4 of which has been in Canada and then 5 in Nigeria. I've worked across the industries, like telco, banking, startups that have that are making innovative changes in the property real estate industry or in the HR industry, actually in Canada. And then right now I'm doing this for RBC, the largest bank in Canada. And then it's just been an amazing my career has just been amazing, honestly. I've just been going from one stage or one level to another. Yeah. And then
that's a fantastic introduction. So I don't have to ask you your career story. So let me just jump in because there are parts of your story that I'm really, really excited to explore, Zino. So as I said when we started, Zino and I met in HR, right? We met in HR. And then the next thing I hear, after a year or two, Zino is in digital marketing. And I was like, wait a minute, how did she make that change, right? So in a minute, Zino, you tell us why and how, right? Did you make the transition from HR consulting to marketing? But just before you do that, if you're watching this, remember that you can ask questions or make your comments wherever you are, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. Just make your comment there. It will show here, and I will answer the question or take on your comment. But you may have to permit StreamYard, right, to have access to your profile so that when you make a comment, it shows up here. So, Zino, why and how did you leave HR for digital marketing?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Ladi. This might break your heart, but I was at the point okay. I said this might break your heart, but at the point I was in my 2 years stint in HR working with you, it was just a transition time for me. I hadn't decided I was going to be in HR. I mean, I had gone to school. I studied accounting in university. And my last year in university, I was like, no, I'm not doing accounting. And then somehow I got into HR thinking that would be it. But after a couple of months, I was like, no, this is not creative enough for me. And at that time, because I was doing mostly like admin, candidate sourcing and stuff like that. So I was like, I knew I was still looking for what I wanted. So that was definitely just transitionary. I must say that, however, my time at HR actually introduced me to the field of marketing because the HR company I was working for had lots of FMCGs as part of their clients, and then they would, come and they'll bring roles like field marketing manager or like just trade marketing manager, like marketing manager roles. And when I go through the job descriptions, I'm like, oh my God, this is me. My spirit aligns with this. And I'm like, this is where I want to be. But I didn't have the experience. I didn't even know how to go in. I didn't even know where to start from to try to even start going in there. But anyways, so that's why, because the only thing, what made me, when I left HR, I went to do my MBA for 2 years. Like I stopped work, did my MBA for 2 years. This is one of the reasons why, because like I was trying to figure out of all the areas of businesses, because it was a general business admin. I studied of all the areas, like where do I really connect? And I was like, I started developing interest in marketing, and then that's how and that's after my MBA. Luckily, not luckily, after several back and forth, I got into marketing, but that's how I transitioned.
Okay, so what were the tactics you used in making that transition? What challenges did you face? What tactics did you use to overcome that? Okay. And this is a problem that a lot of people come back to me with.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few coaches right now, their experience, they want to move to the next field, and they say, sorry, we actually need directly relevant experience. So how did you overcome that?
Exactly. So that was what you just said was the first thing I faced, because I don't know if it was at that point in Nigeria, or like, because it's just like whenever I went for like marketing roles or applied, it would be like, why, excuse me, auntie, why are you moving from HR to marketing? It doesn't align. You don't have marketing experience. I'm sorry, we're looking for somebody with marketing experience. And at that point, I honestly wasn't seeing like any entry-level marketing role to actually like going. It was hard to even get that. So like they would ask for experience. So that was like the first main issue. I think that was the biggest issue for me, honestly. I would say the second thing actually was because second challenge was the marketing knowledge I had was theoretical. What I had learned in MBA or what I went to go and read up on the internet is obviously not stuff I had applied. So it was they just were not just going to take they're just not going to take me. So
how did you solve it?
How I solved it, I had to go back to my drawing board. And I realized that the best place for me obviously is to gain knowledge, and then best place to gain knowledge would be in the marketing agency. So somehow through networking, I was able to reach out to one of the best marketing agencies. Well, see me just saying best anyhow, but anyways, one of the best marketing agencies.
I mean, you know what they say now, if you're going to eat a toad, let it be one that has eggs in it, right?
Anyways, I got into one of the like top marketing agencies in Nigeria, and then, but then like it was entry. In fact, if there's anything before entry level, that's forgetting my 2 years experience in HR, forgetting my 2 years MBA. It was like I was starting from the scratch. I remember my dad. If my dad sees this, is going to laugh. I think my dad was ashamed. It was like, so after MBA, you go the work for beginner level, entry level. I don't understand. I was like, I want marketing. Anyway, that was what I did, and then it was really good starting ground for me, and that's how from there I grew. Yeah.
Fascinating. So I'm going to then so we've dealt with the HR marketing switch. So let's now move. I want to talk about digital marketing a bit.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So I mean, right now, why does it? I mean, you've said why it inspired you.
Yeah.
But generally, I have people coming to say, I'm considering a change. Why digital marketing? Is it advisable? Why would someone consider, especially, given current whatever?
Yeah.
Is it a good idea?
It is 100% a good idea to consider digital marketing at this point, because I mean, everything is online. You are shopping online. You're looking up. We want to buy a house, you're going online, checking out. Everything is online. Nothing is physical anymore. You're shopping, you're learning, even you're eating, like me, Uber Eats. Everything is like basically digital. So I advise there's so much opportunity going into digital marketing right now. There, especially with the advent or introduction of startups. Especially startups, they cannot survive without it. In fact, one of the first marketing roles they employ for is not just anyhow marketer, it's always a performance marketer. That's like a digital marketer who runs Facebook and Google ads and help them grow their revenue. So like it's really huge. You must I advise you, if you're interested in marketing, if you're interested in numbers, because digital marketing is very data driven. Very, very data driven. So like the ads you're running have to be based on some past data that you ran this ad and it led to conversion. So if you're into all of those, I advise you to go into digital marketing. Now, one other thing I always say is that apart from digital marketing, there are other jobs of the future that you should consider. There is like customer
Like,
success.
share a couple with us, yes.
Yeah, there's
Please.
customer success manager. That it's not
What's
customer
that?
service. Customer service is like the customer success manager. Honestly, if I won't lie, is basically customer service that have MBA and PhD. But then the customer success manager, you are working with tools, high level tools, and you are also responsible for you're responsible for managing the relationship with whatever clients this company, the customers these companies have. But it's mostly, I've noticed that you are a customer success they mostly employ customer success managers for like B2B software, those like software kind of things. But then it's actually coming up a lot now. Just research it, and they pay them. To be sincere, they pay digital marketers and customer success managers around the same thing, not customer service.
Okay,
customer success
that's a really, really useful tip, because by the way, I have a couple of experienced customer service people who are looking to change, and then we've been scanning the market and talking, because everybody's attracted to tech. I've spoken to a few tech people, and they're always coming back with, no, it's not, we don't do customer service in the traditional sense. We're looking for customer success person. And it just helps me clarify it a bit. Very useful tip.
Definitely. Okay. Data analytics is also another one. Sorry.
Let me just go on. Data analytics. Yes, please tell me.
Go into data analytics.
What do we need?
Oh, you need to be a numbers person at the basic, but not crazy numbers person, not like into statistics, but at least you understand data and how to analyze it using like tools like Tableau or like Power BI to visualize whatever reporting you're doing, like really huge data analytics. And of course, data science is a senior brother. I think that's where AI and all of those things, come in. What other one do I have now? We can go. I'm forgetting. I can get a list.
Okay, I'll get a list from you and share it after this.
But jobs of the future, just be thinking in that line. Jobs of the future.
Jobs of the future. Fantastic. So I'm now going to talk to you about. All right. So we've done moving from HR to digital marketing. Please, we met in Nigeria. You were working in Nigeria. Now you're in Canada. So tell us your Canada story. How did you? What made you decide? How did you move? And because I know a lot of people who have relocated, and it's quite a struggle, right, to find their feet there. So please share your tips. How did you break into the market? What's the market like? How did you decide? Tell us about your journey, your Canada story.
Okay, so my Canada story. I honestly, I've always had a desire to have international experience, to be sincere, something I've always prayed for. But then, of course, it's hard. When in I think 2015 or 2016, my elder brother actually got a job in international experience from Nigeria, like straight from Nigeria. And then I was like, magic, let me try and do it. So, but then it didn't work out. It didn't work for me. Moving on. So at the start of 2017, I was having my personal planning session for the year. I was in Dubai, I remember. And then this international experience thing, came up again in my head. And I'm like, maybe I should try Canada. My then boyfriend, my now husband, had mentioned how two of his colleagues had been moving to Canada. And then I think I'd seen it, heard it somewhere, like, okay, so if people are moving to Canada, there might be some opportunity there. So that was I'm Christian, so I prayed about it. So at that point, I decided I was going to do it. I really started the process in March, and then by October, I got the papers. I know that right now, very fast. And I know that people have way longer. Lots of people have longer. I don't have any secrets. I don't know why. I don't know how. I can't tell you. I know why it worked. I mean, I'm trying not to be too religious to say maybe it was just God, but that was it. I don't know. I didn't do anything. So I don't have any tip there. The only tip I have
simply applied. You didn't have a job waiting for you, though.
I didn't have any job.
What do you guys call it? PLR?
No. I did FSW, Federal Skills Worker, just express entry. Okay. But then there's other ones like PMP, which is the provinces. You can get into the provinces and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I just made sure I passed IELTS. And then luckily my MBA also played. I was also younger than 30. When you're younger than 30, you have an MBA is good. It's easy. And then, and then it just helped. And then October, I got my papers. I got my papers, and then I landed Canada February 1. Before I landed, just something I should mention is that I think where you land matters. You should be careful about where you land. I was going to land in another province, but I did some welcome program where they sent me some link or some website or just told me to go do research or where I'll see a lot, where my digital marketing roles, where I'll see a lot more. And of course, it was in Ontario. Ontario had a lot more digital marketing roles, and I was going to go somewhere else, a smaller province. So somehow everything changed last minute. Within a month, everything changed, and I moved and I landed in Ontario.
Okay.
So now I got a job within 1 month. I came to Canada. Thank God.
How did you? I want to, don't go past it. I want to hear that story.
I want to tell you the story. So I was mad looking for a job. I did not play. In that 1 month, I applied to over 400 jobs.
Whoa.
Like, that was crazy. Like, I did crazy things. I made sure that my resume, they've told us about resume. You have to ensure your resume, is aligned with, it fits the job description, because I don't know if you guys, I'm sure lots of people come to Canada have heard this thing, that there's something called an ATS and some system that will try to match your resume, keywords in your resume to the job description. And then if it matches maybe like 80%, then you'll be shortlisted, be called for like the first level of interview. I did all of those. I did it so much. It was like every new job description I saw, if I just saw one new skill, bam, I will add it. One new thing, I will add it. One new thing, I'll add it. That's how my resume, honestly, till date, if I give it to people, I would say I have a 60-70% success rate. There's no way I don't get called, because I've added, it is big. Anyways, within 1 month, I got a job because I applied over 400 jobs. To be sincere, in that 400 jobs, I probably got to be 30 interviews thereabout, maybe 30, 35.
Were you not discouraged?
I was, well.
I mean, 400, 30 over 400. See the ratio.
Yeah, maybe only 30. Yeah, only 30. And I got only one offer.
Well, I always say you need that, just one yes. Right?
Yes, you need just one.
How did you keep yourself motivated though? Because, in
that time,
yes.
I'm to be sincere. I had a goal. A week before I left Nigeria, I got engaged, and I said I was not going to go back to Nigeria until I got married. I wasn't going to go to Nigeria for my marriage until I got a job. So I was crazy. I had a goal. I knew what I wanted to achieve. So that definitely helped. The other thing that I would say helped is that I think I just kept on telling myself that if digital marketing doesn't work, another thing will work. If digital marketing doesn't work, then let me say something that my auntie I stayed with when I came here. And what she told me, she said that. She was like, Zino, she has not seen any Nigerian who moved to Canada like that maybe 3 years after and is still struggling. That is not possible. You'll find your way. So at that point, so that really just gave me peace that there's no way. And I've been seeing it, and I see it. I keep saying it. People might come and look for a job for 1 year, but they'll get the job. They'll come and look for a job but they'll find something. They'll get a job. So definitely that gave me hope.
Yeah. So there's hope. Okay, great. So 400 applications, 30 possible interviews, and one yes. What do you think was the factor that made that yes happen?
I'm going to tell you what I think that factor is. A secret, some tip or some secret thing I started to do during my interview. It's not secret, but at the end of my interviews, after everything, when they ask you, when you're like, do you have any question? I'll tell them, I'll be like, I'm new to Canada. Does that worry you? Was that make you not comfortable giving me the job? And then that was one of the best questions I asked. I got answers that made me to know where I am or where I don't fit. The other question, this is another tip for people. The other question I used to ask is, now this was a good interview. I learned a lot from you, but is there anything I have said that have made you worry, that make you worry that I cannot carry out the job? I asked them. I always ask, and you get good responses, and you have the opportunity to now respond back. Anyway,
those are brilliant questions, because what you do is you identify their most serious concerns and deal with it. They're not going, to go and wonder and say, but.
Exactly.
That's really brilliant. Great tip, guys. Great tip. Take that one, very great tip.
Then, So for this one, why I got it because when I asked that in that question, that immigration question, that because I'm new and everything, the two interviewers, they were just like, "Oh, not a problem. 20 years ago, I came to Canada as an immigrant.
Oh, so connection.
Somebody helped me."
Ah,
I think that was just it.
fantastic.
And they're like, "I'm going to help this girl."
That's
And that was how I got
fantastic.
it.
That's fantastic. That's really a great way also to be more human. You
Exactly.
move from being just a candidate to an
Exactly.
immigrant who needs help. Like they need fantastic. I'm clapping. Awesome. Awesome.
I think
Okay.
that's how I got it. Yeah.
So when you now got the role, what was different about working in Canada, about fulfilling your role? You know?
So I'm going to be honest. This first job that I got, it was a gaming. It's in a gaming company, right?
Mhm.
And gamers, and then this tech. I don't know. I'm trying to say this so there's not going to be. There's no form of racism. There's no. I'm not being racist. I'm not being anything here, but I wasn't working in. I wasn't working with. So oh God, I don't know how to say this without being racist. I was working with mostly Asians, and then Asians remind me of Nigeria a lot. We are so much alike. So the culture, I don't think the culture, I didn't, that was not where I got my culture shock. And because I was working with mostly Asians, there was like they understood the other non-Asians, white, Russian, everything. We all understood what diversity was.
Yeah.
So I didn't there was it was clear that this was just a very diverse, multicultural like place. So
Environment.
I didn't feel it. I honestly, in my head at that point, I was like, oh, working in Canada is not that hard now. It's not so different. It's not so, but at that point, the only thing I would say I noticed was that was the first time I started realizing that in Canada, your bosses actually leave you to do, like you're responsible for what your deliverables. You are on it, you set it yourself, you in line with of course company goals, but it is yours, you own it, you deliver it, it is your own. If you fail, you are the one that failed. If you pass, you're the one that passed. Like it is your own. They don't tell you what to do. And coming from Nigeria, where it's like you wake up this year, say the MD says you should go and do this. This one, we should run this campaign. We should use this
It's
logo.
true. Yeah, it will take some switch for people who are not naturally independent minded. I always say this thing of how our whole school system, my experience, kind of beats the initiative out of you,
Exactly.
right? Beats
Exactly.
it out of you. So you
Exactly.
actually have to reconnect with your
Exactly.
entrepreneurial side and your
Thank
result
you.
orientation.
That was
Okay,
so
okay,
that was the first time
that's
I
a great
noticed.
insight.
But then I left. After like 6 months, I got married, came back. I was more interested in. I had worked in. I'm not a gamer, to be sincere. I wanted to work. You know me. I look for fulfillment, and I'm a career hopper, to be sincere. I'm a job hopper. So I was looking for something that was not gaming related. And at that point, I'd realized that there's a digital marketing niche called performance marketing, and that was the most sought after, and it was big. So I wanted to go into performance
Mission
marketing.
is also big, fantastic. Very good tip also. Yeah.
So, and I
Mission
want,
is
yeah,
a super power tactic for
yeah.
feeding your job search.
Yes. So
Go
I
on.
wanted to get in there. So I started in Nigeria. Let me just try and explain performance marketing as easy as possible. It's just basically that you are going to be running ads on Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, all the social ads, but you're not just running ads. Yeah, it's tight. You are bringing in revenue for the ad. So for every $1 I spend on ad, I need to be able to tell you which customer I brought. But at that point, I did not know. I just thought I was in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we just go down and run ads on Facebook. We say there was 50 million impressions. So I thought that's what I was entering. That was when the shock happened. Luckily for me, I got a big startup, crazy, really cool. I think the first shock first was when I got into the work environment. It was a co-working space. That's what they call. That's when I understood when they say startup. Young people, all of them. I think the co-founder and I senior himself. Is like young. All of them were just like young, and then like very fast-paced, fast-thinking. These are people who grew up here, and then of course I'm not going to lie. A lot of more white people than non-white.
Culture, yeah.
Yeah,
Other
but then
cultures.
like it's like they grew up here. It's like everything is you know how you said they beat out the initiative. These ones they did not beat out the initiative. They used to question. I remember in that company there was a Nigerian intern, but he grew up here. A Nigerian intern that grew up here, and then whenever there's like presentations to make or whatever, he would tell the MD, the boss, say, I don't think that was the right thing to do. I don't think you approached it the right way, intern.
Wow.
I said, excuse me, Uncle Tamiwa, are you okay? Did you just
You want me to attack you?
did you just tell him that? So, but then that this first real company I worked, that's when I got slapped with shock left, right, center. I realized I did not know anything in digital marketing. What we're doing in Nigeria will play. And then I started trying to, hey, come and see catch up. It was like a battle, just trying to catch up. Then I realized that, oh, they will come in the morning and say, how was your weekend? I went to one mountain. I went to hike somewhere. My dog was sick, so I almost died. You know, all those kind of things that we did not grow up with. Do we care about animals? They'll say, oh my God, I need to, my dog had a surgery and I was away for 2 days. Or I went hiking and everything was different. And when they come in the mornings and they're having conversations, I don't used to have conversations.
You'll be able to contribute.
I want to say that.
We're not talking about church.
Thank you. They don't even talk about church. Because I was just coming from Nigeria, like the morning is supposed to pray, Monday meeting. nothing like Monday meeting. Then,
no! Didn't you guys talk about you guys will at least have stand up?
We'll have stand ups, yes. When I meant that nothing like prayer. How was that? It was like so. It's just too many differences, and I think that it started making me withdraw. And now that's the one thing about that. And now whenever I want to pick a company, I always look out for that. They themselves, and even me at that point, I didn't realize that was a problem. So they themselves, they were not diverse enough to understand that there was somebody from another kind of culture. So because I don't have anything to say, because I didn't have anything to say, just be like, they'll be like wondering, it's anyway, started affecting my low self-esteem. Started affecting my self-esteem, my esteem. And then I would say that I just started getting quieter and quieter in meetings. I wouldn't say I was delivering so well, because the other thing is that my boss would always say, oh, you're doing well. If you go that's another tip, working abroad, coming to Canada, and I always tell people, don't listen to, there's something called the sandwich type of feedback. They'll say, oh, no, you're doing well. But maybe you should have. They don't say, but what you should have is the real thing. They've given you feedback. That is the feedback. But they will not. But like, I didn't know that. And then they will say you're doing well. Anyway, long and short, from that job, I don't want to go into no time again. I've told you how they tricked me. I got fired. That job, I got fired. But do you know what?
That's awful. How did
they tricked me? They told me they were getting some. This. Anyways, moving on. I got fired. I remember. It's good to have family. I remember that I got fired. By the way, I suspected I was going to get fired. Anyways, let me not go into that one. But then I wanted to say something. What did you want to say? Okay, yes. I remember when I was there in that company, like I knew that I was not doing so well. But then I was looking for other Nigerians in Canada who had immigrated and were doing digital marketing. I did not find one. I looked for. The only ones I saw were people who schooled here. And then they couldn't even really help me. It was like, and then the other ones was, performance marketing was even so niche. It was just somehow. Anyway, after that firing, I went through a eureka moment. I knew that, number one, I would never get fired again. The kind of training I trained myself, within 2 months, I got another job in that same co-working space, but we'll talk about that one later and another time.
So you are working for another company.
I went back there. The same room they fired me from, the same room I got in my welcome back. I said I was going to show Pep that it's not me.
Nigeria, they carry last.
Anyways, then that was after that 2 months was learning, and then in this new company they were more diverse and they understood the issue, and then it was like, let's train this girl within 2 months, and within 2 or 3 months that was it. It was just a little thing, it was just some little mind shift that needed to happen, and it happened, and then that was it. In fact, in that new company, I got promoted. I was like, I did great. Like did great things. Now, do you know the difference between that company and the other? This new company was also white people, but they were more accepting. they understood culture. They did not expect me to be talking in all their, say, talk about dog, talk about this. No, I have like one of my closest white friends right now is from that company. I've left the company and we're still friends. So there was just like more accepting, more interested in,
More
like,
deliberate about including you.
yes, they're more deliberate about including me. So like that was like a huge difference. And in my work, I delivered so much. Let me mention one thing here. So from my experience, I said I was looking for Nigerians and I didn't find.
Yes,
Early
yes.
last year. So like when I joined a new company and I, had settled down, I started a WhatsApp group for digital marketers coming from Nigeria.
Can we join?
You have to be like,
the details. I'll take the details from you.
Canada. But yes, like that group has grown and stories have come out of it. I know like it has helped so many people, jobs every month.
Awesome.
Like I felt
so it's only for digital marketers.
Digital marketers and normal marketers. I expanded it to like even general marketers. I have like one person from China now who is in the group. She reached out to me and she has gotten a job. I have
wow.
who reached out to, so we've been growing.
Okay, great. I'll take those details from you and share them later.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Your story is so exciting. And for me, this point about understanding that you are going to go into, there will be shocks in terms of just feeling, not even the obvious things, right?
Yeah.
And about people being deliberately inclusive.
Yes.
Very, very big point.
Yeah.
Very, very big point for me. Fascinating story. Okay, so looking back at all the stuff you've been through, and I know we haven't even scratched the surface, but because of your time, let me just say, if you were to share 3 tips to it would be digital marketer coming into the Canadian market, what 3 tips? I mean, there's been loads during the course of our talk, but just imagine I'm coming, advise me 3 tips that I can
come
use
into digital marketing
in Canada.
I'll say the first one I would say is just go and brush up your data analytics skills.
Okay.
Your data analytics skills needs to be on point, because to succeed as a digital marketing person, you need to be, half of it is actually data analytics, to be sincere. That's one. And then and in brushing up your data analytics skills, also brush up your like other marketing knowledge. I always recommend brainstation.io. People should check it out. It's like it's basically some nice on training and learning. I don't know how to call them in school now, but they are very well known, especially in the startup industry in Ontario and actually in Canada. So once people see BrainStation on your resume, they actually like it. It's like so brainstation.io. Just go and get knowledge and everything. The second thing I'm going to tell you to do is when you come in, just get ready to just go crazy and start applying. You are coming in, have different resumes. Understand that digital marketing in Canada is broken. Everywhere is broken down, but there's performance marketing, which I say is that niche one where you're selling. But then there's also content marketing. There's also social media. There's also just general analytics and reporting. There's different angles. You have to decide which one works for you, which one you want to be in. Or if you have in more than one, it's okay to have more than one resume. I'm not going to lie, tell people to have more than one resume. I want you to have your digital marketing resume, but also have your marketing communications resume, because marketing communications is one of the easiest way to, marketing communications is one of the easiest ways. The marketing communications roles are one of the easiest ways to get into marketing, because anyways, now marketing is digital. So as a marketing communications person, you'll be doing some digital marketing things. So I tell people, have digital marketing resume, have marketing communications resume. Those two, very important, and just start looking for jobs in those 2 fields. And then what else? Then the third one, just network. That's it. Network. Very important that you network. That's what I'm going to say.
Fantastic. This, you've given us our cheat sheet. Before I wrap up and we go away, Noye said the culture shocks are not talked about enough. You know, and I agree, they are not talked about enough. If we were able to prepare ourselves, and I imagine that your group, right, is a major part of the help that you render. What to look out for, how to fit in. I agree completely, Noye. Thank you for that comment. Okay, this has been a roller coaster, fast-paced, But
Yeah.
then I want to thank you, Zino. Even me, I've learned, right? I've learned. So thank you, thank you.
Right.
So as I said to Zino, I will take the details of her WhatsApp group and share, right? So that those of us who would be digital marketers who are in Canada or looking for job or about to go, you can reach out. At least you can connect with a network of people who have been there, done that. As we
Yeah.
say in Nigeria, Sabi who follow, Abi follow who Sabi road. I wish that was right.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very
Right.
much.
Thank you too, Laddie. Thank
All
you.
right then.
This
All
was
right.
really
So
interesting.
next week, right, we are going to be talking about moving into to the UK, right, and moving into agile, the agile area, agile coaching, to be specific. All right. So, but until then, I want to thank you very much for joining us, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.
Bye.